What's up, guys? August 14th. And the answer to my question in yesterday's video is no. Okay. Yesterday, I posted a video about maybe small caps were back. TIS, ABIL, XBIO gave us good action yesterday. Came in today thinking, maybe I'll take a little bit, maybe I'll take a look at these small caps a little bit more serious today. We had a couple of gappers, a couple of stocks that had potential. Small caps we're talking about here, THST and HYRE, and both were absolute complete garbage. So still really crap action in small caps. I traded two mid caps today, NLSN and TPR, both for winners. Both gave me continuation. Both gave me follow through. Both had excellent volume the entire day. Can get size. It's the same story, guys. It's the same story. I thought maybe with yesterday's action that we were going to see, some of that action start to come back into into the small caps, but I don't think so. I think the mid cap action is going to be kind of crappy until the end of summer, until we're after Labor Day. All traders are back from vacation and there's better volume and better follow through in the small caps. So my attention continues to be on mid caps. There's an A+ setup in NLSN that I'm going to go over with you guys. Also, quick check in. THC, I covered that short, got squeezed out of it again, guys. This THC is just resilient. I was trying to short this THC in this inside of this bear flag type of pattern, and stopped me out today as we broke back above. You can see I was using this, this previous support area you see here. I still have the arrows drawn on my screen. This was a swing trade, guys, I shorted the other day, and I stopped out of that trade today. So that I'm just not getting paid to the short side. I've tried shorting a couple of stocks, guys, over the last couple of weeks. I'm just not getting paid to the downside on them. The market's been relatively strong. And definitely the way to be, definitely the strategy and the way to be is long mid caps or large caps if you trade large caps. So long mid and large caps and short small caps. That has definitely been the way to go today. So let me take you guys to this NLSN, because NLSN, I'll start with this trade first, was on my watch list yesterday. Okay, it was on my watch list yesterday. We'll go to a daily chart because it was gapping up above this previous little pivot resistance area right at 24. So there's that previous resistance. We gapped above it yesterday, and I thought if we held that 24, we had a chance to push our way up into the gap. Okay, now I'll leave that line up there. Look what happens when I go to a 3-minute and I zoom out. You can see yesterday we held that area. Okay, now we got this big gap up today. Once we saw that big gap up today, I thought if we can get through yesterday's high, we got a chance to push a little bit further up into that gap. As I zoom this in, I'll pan over so you guys can see a little bit more clearly. We gapped up and pushed higher. Here's our initial morning high. Guys, remember, you can't establish that initial morning high until you get your first pullback. This is not the initial morning high. This is not the initial morning high because there's no pullback off of that level. Okay? This is your initial morning high because there's your pullback. Okay? So there's your initial morning high. All right? And when we pulled in, you can see VWAP started to act as support. I then went and I drew my Fibonacci retracement level. We had a gap up, so I draw it from yesterday's close up to the initial morning high, and the 23.6 Fibonacci level also lines up right at that VWAP, creating an area of support. But here's where things got interesting. As I pan this out and I draw a line, okay, across yesterday's high, and then I zoom it in, there's your support level. So now we have VWAP, the 23.6 Fibonacci level, and the previous day's high, all converging on that same 2550 to 2560 area to create our area of support. You then see the trade line, the 9 EMA, climbing its way up here, coming into play, and then we got this trade line VWAP crossover. I got long, guys, right here on this candle at 25.60. I'll take it to my trade announcements. Here we are at 9:53 a.m. Long NLSN 25.60, stop loss 25.40. You guys can see earlier in the morning at 9:43, I took a stab at HYRE in at 390, out at 370. Oh, let me zoom that back in so you guys can see it a little bit better. In at 390, out at 370. I took a shot thinking that maybe we were going to get that better action in small caps today. And then after that failed, and then I saw THST fail. I just thought, forget it. I'm not going to pay attention to these small caps anymore. I'm going to focus on the mid caps. And that's when I started making money. Okay, NLSN, TPR, that's when I started making money. So you can see here, long NLSN 25.60. I took some profit off 7 minutes after my entry at 25.92. Sold the bulk of my position at 26.15. And then my final take profit was at 25.95 later in the afternoon at 2:30. Okay, so you can see, guys, I got long here because of that 23.6 fib, because of VWAP, because of the previous day's high, and I was waiting for that trade line VWAP crossover to push this through the high of the day. There was the trade line VWAP crossover happening right at the 23.6 fib and right at that previous day's high, and that pushed the stock higher up into new highs and pushed us further into that gap, and that's when I started taking profit off the table. Okay, it wasn't a home run trade. Okay, it was more of a single, maybe a double, because I'm able to get big size, guys. I'm able to get big size on these mid cap plays because the volume is so great. But this wasn't a huge gainer. It wasn't like a 10 to 20% run like we've seen in the small caps lately, and neither was TPR. TPR didn't give me a huge percentage gain either. But focusing on singles, and I was able to make money and pull out a green day in NLSN and TPR. Okay, so the NLSN was a great setup. It was an A+ setup. When the market's slower like this, you have to focus on A+ setups, guys. You have to be a sniper. I tell our members each and every day, you have to be a sniper. You can't be a machine gunner running around just taking shots at every setup that you see. You really got to pick your spots, and because there is opportunity. Even though the market's been slower, the afternoons are almost a desert. But there is still great opportunity out there, as you can see with NLSN. Now let's go to TPR. Okay, TPR, let's go to the daily chart. Daily chart, gapped above, key resistance level right here, guys, around this 48.50 area. Here's your gap entry from the big gap down the beginning of May. And then you can see we got denied at that level multiple times over the last couple of months. Okay, we gapped above that level today on an earnings beat. And that's been my strategy, guys. That's been my strategy lately. It's getting long mid caps that gap above key resistance levels on an earnings beat. And I've been getting long them. I've been getting long them early. And they've been pushing for the first couple hours in the day. And you've been getting follow through. And it's really been working out nicely. So TPR, here we are. We gapped up, had this big, strong opening bell push. And then we pulled all the way back down to test the initial morning low, which I thought was pretty strange action, but then we bounced right back up to test the highs again, and then you can see VWAP started to come into play and started to hold as support. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, we got the trade line working its way up here coming into play. VWAP is holding support. I think this is a safe area to get long. Also, keeping in the back of my mind that mid caps that are gap above key resistance levels on earnings beats have been pushing higher and giving me follow through for the last several weeks. So that's already in the back of my mind. So I think, okay, this is a good opportunity for me to get long TPR, and I did so right there. Take it to my trade announcements. Here we are at 10:06, long TPR, 52.23, stop loss 51.50. Okay, I'm risking right down back below. We're risking right down below this trade line. So here's my long, here's my stop loss. Okay, and I thought with the trade line view up crossover, which we see happened right here, that would push the stock up to new highs. And surely enough, after we broke through and we got the trade line view up crossover, you see trade line held support as the stock pushed its way up higher, and I started taking profits off the table. Took some off at 53.14, sold the bulk of my position at 53.35. And then my final take profit, 53.68, well over $1 a share. Okay, almost $1.50 a share profit on that TPR. That's a great trade. I mean, almost $1.50 a share, and it's really stress-free. Nice continuation, nice follow-through. The stock ended up pushing a little bit higher. Right here is my final take profit, guys. We pushed a little bit higher, and then we kind of rolled over, and then just kind of faded a little bit into the close. There was my final take profit, and again, here was my entry. Okay, this is the type of action that you're getting. You're getting good action in these mid caps, man. You really are. I mean, compare that to, let's look at THST. One and dones. These stocks are making one move, and then they're done. Volume dries up, the stock completely dies. Okay, let's look at HYRE. Even worse. Even worse. Gaps up, pushes right off the open for all those scalpers that come running in, chasing momentum. The stock pulls right back in, collapses, volume dries out, and it's a desert the rest of the day as it just drifts to new lows. You're not getting good action. I mean, look at that chart, look at this chart, and then compare it to this, and compare it to this. Okay, there's so much better action in these mid caps. So my focus is still on mid caps. I probably will stay there. My focus will probably stay on mid caps till the end of the summer, or until I see otherwise in these small caps. But the follow through is just not there in smalls, so I'm still sticking to mids. See you guys in chat tomorrow. Take care.